screen where what I can do is I can click that telephone number and I can click and call that number right then and there. And you'll see this click to call feature throughout the dialer. Up at the top, I can create appointments on the fly because that happens a lot. I can view appointments over any given date range, and I can also email those appointments as well. A lot of agents, including myself, I used to hire somebody to make my phone calls for me. So they can email you your appointments. If you'd like to talk offline with Nick or myself about different methods of hiring, interviewing, or compensating telemarketers, we can help you out with that. I've certainly done my fair share of it. What we're going to do on the left-hand side of the screen is work our way from top to bottom through all these different modules. We're going to start with calling campaigns, view campaigns. This is where you manage and edit your campaigns that you're calling. So here you have the ability to click this button to start calling a campaign, resume calling, stop calling. You can delete, you can edit a campaign. But right now I want to show you how easy it is to create a campaign. And by the way, we're going to be making some live phone calls in just a few minutes. So I'm going to type in a name for the campaign. I'm going to type in a description. I'm going to upload my names via an Excel CSV file. And click Next. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to drop in your on-hold recordings. Now, we load each dialer with generic male and female on-hold recordings. I have my own recordings. The purpose of the on-hold recording is if you're talking to somebody live on line 1 and somebody on lines 2, 3, or 4 pick up the phone, the lines 2, 3, or 4 are going to hear that on-hold recording. It's meant to just keep them on the phone a little bit longer until you finish with your live call and can go speak with them. You can also drop pre-recorded messages onto people's voicemail at the click of a button. This is important because in sales, it's a numbers game. The more people you have touches with, the more contact you have, the more people you talk to, the more leads, the more appointments, the more sales. There are a lot of ways to generate business in our industry. I've done them all. Mailings, telephone, referral systems. Telesales is the least expensive, most cost-effective, personal way to generate those sales, and I think you'll see this as we work our way through the demo. We've got some features with our system, one of which is auto pause. This is a feature designed for new customers. It slows down the dialer so you can become acclimated to it easier. It's going to help you with your learning curve, okay? Allow DNC. Now, our dialer does not scrub the names. This feature we stumbled across for a lot of agents that had numbers for real-time leads that were integrated into the dialer that were tagged as do not call. This allows those numbers to be called, okay? Enable recording. You can record the phone conversations that you're having with people for training or monitoring purposes. I used to do this all the time. This is a great resource to hone your skills on the phone and expedite your salesmanship on the phone. Time zone protection. If you attempt to make a phone call outside of the FTC regulated calling hours, this will stop those calls from going through. There's no reason not to have this box checked. If you're using Microsoft Outlook and you would like your appointment to receive an email notification with their appointment, click here. They'll receive that notification. Caller ID. You can change the phone number to any number you want to show up on their phone. If you're in Florida on vacation and you want to make a few phone calls because maybe you're sitting by the pool, and you can plug in your caller ID, your office in New York, and you'll have that local presence. And local presence is key. Number of lines. You can talk at 1, 2, 3, or 4 lines at a time, depending on the dialer you have. Phone ring time. I suggest 5 or 6 rings. If you're trying to avoid those answering machines, you can set that to 4. We also have property information available to you. Some more customers like to view property information. So we have that for the prospect via Zillow and Trulia. If you want to email people, no problem. We're going to give you 3 options. You can choose a single email template where every time you hit the send mail button, that person's going to receive this specific email template. Or you can do allow me to choose while sending. This is going to give you the ability to choose up to 3 different email templates. You can choose live on the fly which one you want that person to receive. or you can initiate a drip email campaign. And we'll talk more about this later. You can also automatically send an email upon dropping a pre-recorded voicemail message. The last thing you're going to do to create your campaign is map your data. Click, drag, and drop. That's all there is to it. The right-hand column has the information I loaded from my Excel CSV file. The left-hand column has the information that's going to show up when I talk to somebody. If you don't need it, don't drag it over. There's no reason to complicate things. But if you have custom fields that we do not, come down to the bottom left-hand corner, and you can add custom fields and personalize this to your business. Then, of course, you'll hit finish, and that campaign will be created. Now you're ready to start dialing. Coincidentally, I want everybody to know that our solution is available for both Windows and Mac-based systems. I'm actually working off of a Mac right now, and I'm going to, and you can run it straight out of Safari, by the way. You don't have to run Parallels. Parallels can sometimes play havoc with your computer. I don't like to run it. So we're going to make some live phone calls now. I actually have an open line to the servers right now. When I make phone calls, I'm just playing dumb, essentially, just trying to get on and off the phone quickly so you can see how the dialer works. What you're looking at here is a 3-line calling campaign, thus the 3 boxes. You're going to see a status of the call, a name, and a phone number. You're also going to see our Ftc Compliance Meter that monitors the Ftc abandonment rate. Now that rate is 3%. We've converted it to a number that's more easily measurable, which is 100%. So if you see this 0 climbing up higher and higher, 70, 80, 90%, that means you need to slow down your calling campaign from 4 lines per hour to 3 lines, or 3 lines per hour to 2 lines. I'm going to put my phone on speaker, so maybe you'll be able to hear the people that I'm talking to. We'll make a couple quick phone calls, and let's see who we can get on the phone. So I'm resume dialing. Dialing 3 people.
Good afternoon, Jaygrey Realtors. This is Lori.
Oh, hey, Lori. I think that I may have accidentally dialed the wrong number. I am so sorry to bother you.
No, no problem. Have a good day.
Take care, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi, this is Bill Clancy with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. Please leave me a message and I'll return your call at my first opportunity.
Now, I can actually drop a message.
Please provide me the address or MLS number for reference. Thank you and have a good day.
Hold on just 1 second. All right, so it's leaving that voicemail message. Now, I actually paused the campaign because I just wanted to make a few phone calls. So we talked to one live person, we left a message, and we had a no answer on one. And that was all in a matter of, and what was that, 15 seconds? So you can imagine what this can do for your numbers. And again, sales is a numbers game. Now, after this is finished leaving the message, the campaign will pause dialing. But let me explain to you what's going on here, okay? Because I want you to understand how the dialer works. Follow the mouse, kind of like you'd follow the bouncing ball. If I'm talking to Jill on 1, and Lewis and Alexander pick up on 2 and 3, Lewis and Alexander are going to hear the on-hold message. Now, if I finish with Jill, while Lewis and Alexander are on hold, I'll be transferred into the middle of that on-hold call, and I'll start talking to them. On the other side of the coin, if I'm on the phone with Jill for a really long time, and Lewis and Alexander hang up the phone, the dialer is going to pause dialing, and then when I get off the phone with Jill, it will redial Lewis and Alexander first before it dials any new prospects because it doesn't want me to have any missed opportunities. So the dialer is intuitive in how it handles those calls. Down below, every time somebody picks up the phone, a window is going to open up with all the information we mapped when we created our campaign that I can edit on the fly. I can edit their name. I can type in notes. And I can disposition them with one of our disposition buttons below. What we have is we have callback, meaning maybe you don't want to leave a voicemail. You just want to hang up and call them back later. Got lead, meaning they are a hot, warm, or cold lead. Do not call, meaning they're not interested. Send to mail, meaning email. Type their address, and they'll receive the email template you attach to your campaign. You can schedule a phone call or an appointment. Just use the calendar. You can drop that into your calendar. You can disposition it as a sale, and plug in a value or annualized premium. Or if you have the wrong number, you can create a new contact. And of course, here's our property information via Trulia. I'm going to disposition this as callback. We're going to go to the next module. On here. Just want to check and make sure. So here, down below, you can see all of my hot leads where I can click this button and edit a lead. I can delete it. I can scroll down through the activity log and see the history of contact or any notes that I've typed. I can click on the Details tab for more information. I can click and call these leads one at a time using the click-to-call telephone number that you see here. Maybe I'm going to call them one at a time because I think they need more individual attention. Or I can come up here and hit the Start button and I can auto-dial these leads. I can also send these leads to an integrated CRM or service provider. I can also email leads. Remember I said you can have some of our agents have people making their phone calls for them? Well, they can email you your leads. Let's go to reports. Calling reports. Earlier, I mentioned you had the ability to record phone conversations. Well, this is where you'd find them. You have a lot of different search options here. You can play them, you can download them. And again, recordings are a great resource. It's a rather humbling experience if you're first starting out. Or I guess anytime, you're never too old to hone your craft. Next module, campaign statistics.
Hey, Corey, real quick, I'm very sorry. My internet cut out just a moment ago, and I know you asked if we could still see the screen share and hear the audio. I just wanted to confirm for you that everything is still rocking and rolling just fine.
Fantastic. Yep, thanks, Nick. Appreciate it. Good. Always nice to have those check-ins. We don't want to waste any more of your time. We want you to get in and out of here and give you all the juicy stuff here. So, campaign statistics. This is a report that I run actually quite frequently, especially when I have people making my phone calls for me, because these reports can be generated in real time as people are dialing. So I can run a campaign. I can run these statistics on a specific campaign, a previous day and time that campaign was called in the past, a specific date range. I can run these in real time remotely. I can use these as timesheets, performance evaluations. If you have multiple dialer accounts, you can run it across multiple dialer accounts or individual accounts. For example, you can see this person spent 44 minutes talking on the phone. During that time, they dropped 5 answering machine recordings. They sent 1 email. They generated 16 leads. They dialed 138 people. If you were to hand dial 138 people, it would take about 5 hours, give or take a little bit. Hand dialing is not fun, and I know all of you know what I'm talking about. There are days you have to talk yourself into dialing, and there are days you'll talk yourself out of dialing. The dialer takes all the laborious, demotivational tasks out of hand dialing out of the equation, so you're spending more time talking. The more people you talk to, again, we're going to come back to that same thought process. It's a numbers game, okay? You don't get a chance to get demotivated with the dialer, plain and simply. Let's go to the next module, which is email campaigns, email blasts. Very easy to send an email blast. All you have to do is click New Email Blast. Select the email template you want everybody to receive. Select the campaign that you want to pull those email addresses from, because campaigns have all of our contact information. I could send this to my hot leads, my cold leads, my callbacks, or I could just send it to everybody and hit start, let that email blast go out. The important thing about the dialer, you can do what I used to do. You can load your existing book of business into the dialer, and you can call and email them efficiently. You can wish them happy holidays. You can tell them about new products. You can ask for referrals. Let's face it, leads are expensive. If you're not working your existing book of business, you're doing yourself a disservice, because that's a great way, if you've done a good job, which I'm sure all of you do, of generating repeat business. Next module, drip email. Drip email is a series of emails that go out automatically over time. It's a schedule. So what you're doing is you're creating a schedule, and you are attaching that schedule to a campaign. So here, I'm just going to call this one New Prospect, and I'll just call this one Final Expense. So here, you can tell the dialer the first time you hit the send mail button, you want that person to receive this email template. Then automatically after 3 days, a different template, 7 days, 6 days, and so on. You can send 8 emails over the course of 30 days. The benefit here is simple. You're getting constant visibility with your prospects without having to lift a finger. This is a feature we get a lot of good feedback on. Next module, lead vendors. We have partnered with several internet lead companies where we can arrange to have your leads loaded into your dialer automatically in real time for you. This is going to give you the ability to contact these leads quicker and track them from cradle to grave. If you don't see your lead vendor here, we can certainly approach them about coming on board. What will happen is you will receive a real-time audio and visual notification up here in the top right-hand corner under real-time lead alerts. And you'll see the different vendors. You can click on that batch of leads and you can call them right then and there. I'm going to skip these settings tabs, go to the next module, which is preferences, email SMTP. In our system, we send emails using your email account, your AOL, your Gmail, your Yahoo account. Okay, you set that up on the back end and then finish the setup on the front end. The back end meaning the manager account, the front end meaning the dialer account. Our support team will walk you through it. There's not anything to it at all. Email templates. This is where you manage and edit all of your email templates that you attach to campaigns. So here you have the ability to press this button to delete, edit, and preview those templates. You can create a template. It's just like creating an email. Most of us have done that. First thing you'll do is name your template. Use a subject line. You can use an attachment up to 1 megabyte. You can personalize each of your emails with people's specific name, Mr. Smith, Ms. Jones. You can format it with a number of different options. You can use hyperlinks, images. And because the email is HTML compatible, you can literally copy and paste pictures, words, and graphics into the body and create some really nice email templates. Then hit submit. That template will be saved. Voice recordings. This is where you manage and edit all of your on-hold and answering machine messages. Here, you can play, delete, edit, and download your recordings. You'll create your recordings via WAV file format. You'll upload it into the library, and you can attach them to campaigns from there. This is a relatively new feature, achievements sharing, next module. If you have a good day on the dialer, there's no harm in bragging about it a little bit. You've certainly earned it. You can post results or productivity via Facebook and Twitter. Pretty cool stuff. Last module, date and time. This is where you set your date and time zone preferences. Certainly everybody has done this in one place or another. And the last thing that I want to show you is up here in the top right-hand corner of the screen under alerts and reminders. This is the hub for your appointment reminders, your call reminders, and your email notifications, meaning you'll receive a real-time audio and visual notification for those 3 events. For example, you can see, let me find one. Here we go. This person just opened up my email. I can come over here, click this telephone number, and call them right then and there. Let me tell you why this is important. Your prospects, they have full-time jobs. They're full-time parents. They have hobbies, errands, friends, things they're doing. They're not sitting around waiting on your phone call. This plan simply gives you the ability to strike while the iron's hot. That's a feature we get a lot of good feedback on. Now, that concludes the demonstration for today. If you have questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to Nick or myself. And I want to actually personally thank Nick for allowing us to participate in this webinar. They're good people over there, and they've got a lot of resources. So you certainly couldn't do wrong by helping them grow, letting them help you grow your business. Nick, I'm wrapped up. The floor is yours, sir.
Well, I appreciate it, Corey, and that's very, very kind of you to say. Thank you for the nice words, and thank you for the awesome presentation. This is a really powerful platform, Sales Dollars is, and looking at it, you really get a sense for how much it's grown and changed. Since I first saw Sales Dollars, however many years ago that was. It gets better and better and better. We're really, really powerful, really cool, very in-depth presentation. And thank you again. I know we've got a couple of questions. Number one that we had come across before we recorded was, what we've seen here today, as far as the dialer, the scheduling, the email campaigns, all that stuff. Can you tell us a little bit more about actually signing up for all this? Are there different packages we can get? Is this all under one cost, or do we have to kind of piecemeal this? How does that work?
Sure. Now, we actually have two, I think it's two promotions through your organization, Nick. We have a lot of a la carte products, I guess you'd say, and I can go to our website and show you. But there is a special package that we have through your organization, and actually it's a really good deal. We don't have a deal like that anywhere else. We've never done a deal like that before, let's put it that way, so you wouldn't be doing yourself wrong. Let me explain to you what we have, though, just so you know what your options are. I'm on our website now. Come up to Buy Now. We have 3 different dialer products. We have our light single-line dialer, our plus 3-line dialer, and our max 4-line dialer. Now, you can pay for these services on an hourly, or, it's not both, or a monthly basis. And the pricing you see here, it includes everything. So when you see pricing for sales dollars, don't expect any setup fees. We don't nickel and dime you over features. There's no taxes. What you see is what you pay. It's month to month, no contract, no phone bill as long as you're calling the continental United States or Canada. The break-even point, just so everybody knows, between the hourly and the monthly is 6 or 7 hours a week. If you're dialing more than 6 or 7 hours per week, the monthly unlimited price point is a better option for you. Now, to wrap up with this, we do have an a la carte product that the realtors like to use, the agents like to use. Here under all our products, we have a product called Sales Data List right here. This is a United States business and residential database. You can use this to target specific demographics based on filters that we have, whether you're targeting final expense or you're targeting mortgage protection or whole life or term annuities. We have a lot of different filters. So this is a really popular product with our insurance agents. That wraps things up. Nick, does that answer suffice?
Absolutely, yeah, thank you. And one thing I'll add on to there, and this is something I like to brag about quite a lot. You mentioned the deal that we have together. On the 3-line dialer, I believe we saw the retail price there at $109, and you mentioned the discount we have. It's a $30 a month discount through us. And given the fact that membership in the association is only $20 a month, if you do your math right, you're making a $10 profit by signing up with us and then going to Sales Dollars. So there's no reason not to do that.
Yeah, y'all have a really good deal with us, and that's just because of the visibility and you've got a great following. So yeah, it's good stuff.
Oh, we love it. And I'll say too, I mentioned while we were kind of getting things rolling a bit earlier, Rick is on the call with us today, and I know you've spoken with Rick in the past. He's using the platform and is trained a telemarketer of his to use the Sales Dollars 3-line platform to telemarket for Medicare supplements. The learning curve was so shallow. I mean, his telemarketer was up and running very, very quickly. It's resulted in an immediate and measurable improvement in Rick's bottom line. And we'll say, too, that your sales support and technical support staff over there are absolutely second to none. We have come up with some of the stupidest questions, and you guys have very patiently answered all of them and helped us out through and through. So we just can't say enough good stuff about this.
Yeah, I'll send you that check for $100 for the kind work. No, honestly, listen, we do have a good support team, and by the way, I understand Rick's having some very good results, but I want to stress to everybody, the dialer it's a machine gun, and you have to have bullets. So you want to have some good lead options there. I know Nick and his team can help with that. There's a lot of things that we can help you with. It's not about just who you're calling. It's about when you're calling. It's about what you're saying. So there's a lot of components that fit into this, 3 or 4 of them, and we can help you with that. We're between Nick and ourselves. We're not just going to say, okay, here you go, have fun, go use it. We try to be a turnkey solution to provide you with lead options, those peak hours to call, scripts, all of these things together that are going to make you successful so you can indeed hit the ground running instead of floundering around for days or weeks. Okay? So go ahead. Nick, are there any other questions?
No, I think we've got the stream dried up pretty well, and that takes care of everybody. So, Corey, thank you again for coming out and showing us around the platform and giving us so much detail. I really, really appreciate it. I'm sure I speak for everybody when I say that.
Yeah, no, thank you. Sorry for the rocky start. We're gonna chalk that one up as operator error on my bad. So appreciate everybody's patience.
Hey, it happens. Hey, real quick before you go, do you have an 800 number or an email address we could share with everybody just in case they want to reach out to you?
Absolutely. Right here on the computer. Is my screen still sharing?
Yeah, we still got you.
All right, yeah, so it's 1-800-662-4009. I'm going to repeat that again, 1-800-662-4009. My extension is extension 5, but you won't hurt my feelings if you dial extension 1 for sales. If you want to email me, you can do so, Corey, C-O-R-Y, no E, at salesdialers.com. Make sure you put the S on the end. That'll do it.
Great. And to all the agents on the call, if you're not signed up with Sales Dollars yet and you do want to get things rolling, feel free to hop on over to the member discount section at iliaa.org. We've got a link to the discounted pricing we mentioned. It'll take you right in. You can sign up from there, get started, and get hooked into this really, really cool system. So, Corey, thank you one more time. Really, really appreciate it. Had a great time, learned a lot, and I'm looking forward to getting some agents on the platform and rock and roll. And Rick wants to send his thanks as well, and I'm sure everybody else in the webinar does too.
All right, fantastic. I hope everybody has a great day. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Take care.